The 910 AM live stream can now be seen on Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, YouTube Red, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Android tablet, Amazon Kindle Fire, any Windows phone, or watch us live at 910amsuperstation.com. WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit, 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media. What's love got to do? Got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to
Good morning, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. How are you this morning? Time now is 6 o'clock in the morning. If you've got to be there by 7 o'clock, you've got 1 hour to get there. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. I know. Well, first of all, if you're getting ready to leave out of the door anytime in the next hour, take a coat and a sweater with you. We are under, I don't know that Wayne County is on the list, but Oakland County and every county north of us is definitely on the list. We've got a frost advisory until 8 o'clock this morning. It may be, 39, 40, and in the 40s. It's pretty much in the 40s in most of the area. But there are some outlying communities where the temperature dipped down. It was pretty cold last night. I found out last night when I went to go walk around Belle Isle and get the rest of my steps in for the day. It's freezing. Yeah, it was freezing outside. So if you're heading out anytime soon, dress appropriately. Be prepared for it. Yeah, it's going to warm up a little bit later on today, but today's will be a cooler day than we had yesterday. 313-778-7600. I know when I talked to y'all yesterday, when we went off the air, one of the things that I promised Walter is that we would be talking about Florida and their travel advisory. The NAACP issued a travel advisory to those of you that are thinking about going to Florida, not really just going to Florida to hang out, but mostly if you're thinking about going to Florida to spend money. If you're going for a convention or a family reunion and things like that, the NAACP issued a travel advisory now because in response to the fact that Florida Governor DeSantis, who is working his tail off to be as much Donald Trump as he could, even trying to run against Donald Trump, has decided that he's going to spend all of his waking hours attacking the Black community, attacking every policy that he can that has Black community written on it. And so the NAACP has decided that now is the time to issue the travel advisory. Not years ago, not after Trayvon Martin, after all of the other things. Yeah, we all were protesting, and Stevie Wonder was even behind. It was about 10 years ago. It was 2013. As I remember, we wound up going to Florida in 2013 for a family reunion, and everybody was like, well, why are y'all down there? We're supposed to be protesting and boycotting. Yeah, well, the hotel room had already been paid for. The flight had been paid for. Wasn't spending any extra money. That money had already been paid for by the time they decided to boycott 10 years ago. But now, 10 years later, the NAACP has decided that they're going to issue a travel advisory and say, please, Black folks, understand that Florida is in the South and they're openly hostile. I know I told y'all yesterday that's what we were going to talk about today. And if you want to, you know the number, 313-778-7600. But as happens in the real world, stuff happens to sort of change your plans. Y'all already know the best laid plans of mice and men often go wrong. Don't make me say that gang after Glay thing because I don't really pronounce it that way, the correct way. But yeah, I had plans yesterday on what we're going to talk about today. And then Tina Turner's family and her publicist released the information that Tina Turner passed away yesterday. Now, here's the thing. There are a bunch of 20-year-olds out there that don't have a clue who Tina Turner really was. They don't understand the impact of her life. And if only thing that they know about Tina Turner is what they watched on the news last night and this morning, they simply believe she was somebody who survived domestic violence, went on to make a bunch of money, and died in Switzerland. That's all they know. Tina Turner has not been as much a part of their lives as she has our lives. Yeah, of course, she was born in 1939, passed away yesterday, officially announced, passed away yesterday. And she's been sick for the last several years. I think that, one of the things that I saw last night, that her last public sort of interview, I think she gave an interview on one of those, like Good Morning America or something, a couple years ago. And apparently she made an appearance at the play that has recently been here in Detroit with her name on it, the story of her life. When the play was in New York for Broadway, she made an appearance. But she had decided to be a citizen of Switzerland 10 years ago, back in 2013, which means gave up her U.S. residency and became a naturalized citizen in Switzerland. She opted for, an opportunity. She received an opportunity that a lot of people don't have. Most folks don't understand why some celebrities decide that they're going to go live in another country. And because they live in another country, if you or I decide to pick up and we decide to move to Switzerland tomorrow, and we're going to hang out there for a few years, but we're still residents of the United States. Whatever money we make, even while we're over there, we owe taxes here, and we've still got to keep sending the check to the IRS. For folks that have moved over to, whether it's Switzerland or any other country that they've moved to, and they feel comfortable and they've decided this is where I'm going to grow old and gray and die, and I'm accepted in this country. I don't have to fight for equality, any of those other things in this country. Those folks that move, once they've decided I'm not going back except to visit, then they decide to tell the United States, you know what, I'm going to keep my money over here. I'm not going to keep paying for your government and things like that. I'm going to become a citizen where I live. And nobody can blame anybody with all of the problems that we've got in this country. Nobody can blame those folks that have enough money and that have decided that they want to pack up and move somewhere else. But we're all still here. So for those folks who are my age, and Dorian, I saw what you posted yesterday about she's your mom's cousin. So, brother, you need to get on the phone and call 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. For those folks that, Tina Turner's life was so much more. It was not just, well, there are folks that don't understand. And I saw a report last night on Fox News where they refused to call her the queen of rock and roll. They talked about how much money how famous she was in soul and pop, but they would never acknowledge her as being and that's par for the course with Fox News. They just would not acknowledge that she was and has always been since 1984, 1985, known as the Queen of Rock and Roll. The woman toured with Mick Jagger. She toured with Bryan Adams. She sang around the world, not just, plenty of people went over to LCA to go see Janet Jackson last night. But LCA doesn't hold 180,000 people. Anybody that's reached that level that they can fill up Wembley and places like that and sing around the world to 100,000 plus fans at one time, that's legendary status. That's not, I'm playing the 20, 30,000 seat arena and he may be selling out tickets 2 or 3 times. That is, especially for someone that came from a town that, as she has admitted herself and those other folks that came from that part of Tennessee, there's no gas station, there's no main street, there's no red light. You go right through town and you don't even know that the town is there. They have risen to the level of fame that she rose to with Ike Turner, with being Ike and Tina Turner, having had to divorce him because of things that's now popularly known. And she told the story in her autobiography, and they wound up making a movie about the fact that she wound up suffering a bunch of domestic violence at the hands of Ike Turner. She divorced him in 1973 and spent several years trying to get her own individual career started. And we all know, if you don't have a copy of that Private Dancer CD, it was one of the first CDs I had, and I had the album before I had the CD. And if you didn't see her in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in 85, you missed it. You seriously missed it. But everybody else, I know that the folks who can hear my voice right now, those folks who regularly tune into the show, this is the audience that we grew up with Tina Turner being a very important part of our lives. But eventually, as always happens with people that you get attached to, eventually we've got to let them go. Eventually, their bodies say, you've done a lot while you were here. You really, really lived that dash. You've learned to enjoy it. But, in the end, she had, and I think she even talked about, how her high blood pressure wound up affecting her kidneys. And apparently she wound up having a stroke. And, she's been out of the public eye for the last several years because she's been dealing with illness. Her body has let her down. But nobody else, nobody. And I thought about this. About 2 weeks ago, some of my cousins at home went to see Diana Ross and they posted while they were in the concert that she was at one of the casinos right outside of Chicago in Gary, Indiana. And I thought, oh my God, I drive past that place all the time. Had I known that Diana Ross was going to be there, I would have definitely bought the tickets. I didn't care what the price was. I would have gone, and I wound up looking it up now. If I want to go see Diana Ross now, I got to fly to California. You either got to go to California and see her as part of this tour, or you got to wind up going overseas. Those names are legendary. Those are the voices that we've grown up with. 313-778-7600. Oh, Dorian's on the line. Let's go to Dorian. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Kerry.
What's on your mind? Tell us about your family connection to the legendary Tina Turner.
Well, that's my grandmother's second cousin. Her father and my great-grandfather were like cousins or something like that. Because that area, a lot of the people from that area, because we all somewhat look alike. And believe it or not, a lot of the Jewish landowners were sharecroppers in that area. So we were kind of mixed with them, but we thought we were Native American, a lot of us. But everybody down there was, Nutbush, Brownsville, and Ripley are all on Germantown Road. It's called Tina Turner Highway now. But all the churches, everybody down there is pretty much related. And because the sharecropper was very...
Brother, that's what happens when you come from... I wound up telling cousins up here, because some of my cousins here in Detroit wound up telling me that one of the cousins that they had not introduced me to, that I hadn't met in the 20 plus years that I had been here, about 10 years ago, when I walked in and I looked at her, and she's, could be my grandmother's twin. And I looked at her and said, obviously she's one of my cousins. Why didn't y'all introduce me? She said, oh, she's not your cousin. She's our cousin on the other side. It was like, yeah, somebody needs to wind up grabbing the Q-tip. When your family members all come from those same little bitty towns, you wind up being related to those folks that you didn't know was your cousin.
Yeah, I knew about her being my family member since the 80s, but it really didn't dawn on me and just pushed to my attention as much was when I was burying my grandmother and my uncle in 2020. And the whole town came out for my grandmother. She was 90. She was, a little bit older than Tina. But the whole thing about it was like we went through that town, and my mother was like, yeah, that church, we're that's our family right there. And I'm like, well, why you never told me about these people? And she was like, everybody, they may have gotten different surnames, but everybody's pretty much family. Like, and I'm like, how? He's like, well, cousins is nothing with cousins. And, nobody knew. There was no checks and balances down there. My grandmother...
They wasn't trying. Wait, Dorian, wait. I'm going to go to a break in a second. They wasn't deliberately trying to do the kissing cousins thing. It's just that, listen, this is a little bitty town. And, you've got to draw the line up 2 or 3 things before you wind up getting to... Hold on a minute. Let me take a break. Don't go nowhere. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. We're going to take a very quick break and listen to some Tina Turner, and we'll be right back.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I've had no energy for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials. And, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not. But I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days to taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Listen to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. It's 313-778-7600. Before we went to break, Dorian was telling us about the town where his family and Tina Turner's family and how they are connected to that small little community in Tennessee. Ask this, while you were down there, did you take pictures of the road, the one that you say now is now the road that's now named after Tina Turner?
I never took pictures of it because I've been up and down that highway so many. My mother, listen, Tina had the roughest life, just like my mother did. And they swore off Tennessee. I mean, it was that bad. Literally, because they picked cotton. They were basically slaves. And the men were just as brutal. And the boys, my uncles, they were undereducated completely. My mother had to be their mother. And Tina had similar experiences. And it was just that bad that she went to Switzerland. My mother came to Detroit in '68. The day she was riding on the bus when Kennedy got shot. She was here. She was there when Martin Luther King got killed, and my cousins, my uncles, ran down to Memphis to burn the town down. It was just, she had to go. And Tina was the same way. It was the same story. And so my mother, her last trip, she didn't want to go. That's how Tennessee got her. You understand what I'm saying? They got her. And so Tina knew that land was cursed. That area was cursed. It was just a bad experience. And so all they had was each other, was family. And it was just 3 little towns, really 4. It's a town called Bell. It's another unincorporated town that's, north of Brownsville. Brownsville is like, that's the only Walmart you'll find within maybe 100-mile radius.
Wow.
And that's in Brownsville. That's like their mall. And they do, it's, most of the town is now controlled by, Latino business owners, some of them Indian, but the town is, because there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Talk about just a dead area, and all you had was churches and a school. That's it. And
So,
nothing but cotton fields.
see, imagine coming from that part of town. There's a reason that I haven't gone back to Mississippi in years.
Right.
Because seriously, where my father's from, there's nothing there. And after they left for, looking to get away from some of the racial problems that part of town had, there's only so many trips up and down there and go pay the taxes and walk the land and stuff you're going to do after that. You're like, listen, I'm done. I ain't going back. I understand, There is, and so imagine the generations that are behind us that don't have a clue what they went through. They don't know how hard it was and how much the struggle was, and that once they were out, they're like, I'm not going back. And so that's why, if you know somebody, they're 20 years old, they don't have a clue who Tina Turner really was, or how she decided to just push forward no matter what all happened in her life.
I can't think of an artist, a woman, that had a harder life from, it didn't get better until she got older.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She didn't get her taste until she got older and everything. This is like I said before.
Brother, she was 45 years old when Private Dancer was released in the mid 80s. So she was 45, and then life took off all over again. Right.
Right. And inspired a Beyonce. All these women out here trying to, all of them. She was the original. She was, as you would say, she was the queen of rock and roll. Cannot be denied. She expands since the 50s.
It has been since the 50s. They and put her in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Say once for the life that she lived with Ike, and then another time for the fact that she had her own individual career that she established and made a name for herself. So we've all grown up listening to her music, and now those days are behind us. So thanks for calling this morning, brother. Have a great weekend. We still love you, and we always gonna be here. And y'all, just a reminder to the rest of y'all, we are on pre-recorded shows after today. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the station, people are going to go out and spend some time with their family for the holiday. So the next time that y'all talk to me, I'm not even here on Tuesday. So we'll be Wednesday of next week. And I'm not sure what we're going to talk about then. I've got to make some phone calls later on today, and because I think that we've got a guest lined up for then. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Miss Leona. Good morning, Miss Leona.
How are you this beautiful morning?
Pretty good. Sitting here looking out the window, watching the sun try to cut its way through these clouds. How are you?
All I can say about my bad sisters, R.I.P. Rest in peace, my sister. She earned everything that she got. She had a hard time, but she was determined to make a name for herself after she divorced Ike. So they don't want to give her the credit. As I listened to the news, they were talking about Mick Jagger. She toured with him, he toured with her. And they said that she taught him a lot of the moves that he's dancing and everything. So I can say our people, we have made a mark in different fields, but the struggle is not over. And the young people, like you said, they don't have an idea of who she was because all they know is about rap right now. And I think any family like me, with my family, we came from Mississippi. And my mother there was 14 sisters and brothers. And my dad it was 9 of them.
Hold on a minute. Wait. Oh, your mama had 14 sisters and brothers. How many siblings did you have?
How many children did I have?
No, how many sisters and brothers did you have?
She had, I'll say 15. She had 8 sisters and 7 brothers.
Wow.
And then my dad it was 4 brothers and 4 sisters. And we are from Mississippi, and I have lived long enough that now I'm the matriarch of the family. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can believe it. I definitely can believe it.
And I can go back and thank I used to be with my grandmother, and I was 7 years old, and I could never pick cotton or hoe cotton, because hoeing cotton, you got to trying to get the grass around the cotton, so if you break the root of the cotton, then it won't grow. So my grandfather was named John, and one of my brothers was named John. When it rained, he could tell which row I had hold, because the cotton would lay down, the root was broke, so he would tell me, you go and let Lucy teach you how to cook, because you cannot hold a pick cotton. And I remember it was 7 of us, 5 brothers and 2 sisters. I'm a twin, fraternal twin, and my twin brother was named Leon. That's your name.
Mm.
And I think that they come to me a lot of times and ask me questions about the family. And sometimes I've never believed that God would grant me grace that I'm the matriarch of the family now. My mind is still good. I always tell them ain't nothing wrong with my mind, is my legs is bad. I can still think for myself, and Tina Turner, to me, we had a saying she was a bad mama jamma. And I often wonder why she left the United States. And I understand now she wanted some peace and quiet, because if she stayed in the United States, they would always be behind her. And so we lost Jim Brown. We have quality people in all walks of life in the black race, but we still are struggling because we have not learned how to love each other and appreciate each other and help each other. So that is why I listen to 910 and all the different hosts to hear what the other people's opinion are. And then I can still thank God that I can think for myself. So
that's a blessing.
You enjoy your holiday. You said it's going to be a recording Monday, Wednesday, and what?
No, tomorrow and Monday, my show will be pre-recorded. I'll be back on Wednesday of next week.
All right. Then.
Okay.
So you and your family have a great holiday, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the blessing. You have a great weekend too. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. When we come back on the other side of the break, we can go ahead and have this talk that y'all wanted to have about Florida and whether we need to be spending our money in Florida and traveling to Florida. It's a very quick break. It's only 3 minutes. We'll be right back. We can rely on. There's got to be something better out there. Love and compassion. That day is coming.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2023.
Have you thought about advertising your business on our 910 AM Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now. The all-new 910 Superstation is your #1 source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Good Pods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming on Mondays at 8 p.m. Catch a 2-hour block of Law & Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38.
910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 248-357-4566. Or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
The 910 AM live stream can now be seen on Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, YouTube Red, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Android tablet, Amazon Kindle Fire, any Windows phone, or watch us live at 910amsuperstation.com.
Left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day, and I never lost 1 minute of sleep.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. I really don't want to wind up talking over that part of the song. For the rest of the day, y'all are not going to hear anything else except for all of the news media outlets are going to wind up telling you their version of who Tina Turner was. But for those of us who are old enough to remember, not just that we lived through the 70s and the 80s when she tried to put her career back together after having broken up from Mike Turner, but definitely how one album, that 1984 album, Private Dancer, took her to an entirely different level. She was able to travel with, and you know, there's always controversy about whether or not you've got to wind up, you know, getting the acceptance of other different communities. But what it did for her career is it allowed her to go from just being played on black stations, on R&B or soul stations, and to cross over not just to pop, but to tour with and to play to it exposed to the larger audiences that gave the, and those audiences knew that if you went to a Tina Turner concert, you were going to a high energy concert. And Like Flonetta talked about, she had very strong legs. There's a legendary story that apparently the folks at Lloyd's of London decided a few years ago to confirm it. Her legs were not just that she had gorgeous legs, but because of the fact that she always wore the short dresses and the short mini skirts, her legs were a commodity. Her legs were part of the show, and the fact that she was able to stand up on those legs and bounce even when she was in the 40s and the 50s and on, that was part of the show. And that's why she went from playing to 20 and 30,000 seat audiences to 100,000 plus audiences on a regular basis. And because she was exposed to touring with rock and roll icons, touring with Bryan Adams and hanging out and becoming friends with Mick Jagger. I mean, if you read the tribute that Oprah Winfrey posted to her, because you remember years ago, Oprah had said that she followed her around. She went from one concert to another, and that they weren't even friends at that point. They became friends after that point. And Oprah, I remember watching the show the day that Oprah had said that she got an opportunity to go and to sing and dance as a background singer. That was her life's dream. Imagine being somebody as rich and as powerful and all of the media outlets, and the one thing you want to do is you want to sing and dance behind Tina Turner. That's how you know Tina Turner was definitely a legend. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Jihad. Good morning, Jihad. How are you this morning?
I'm peaceful. How about yourself, brother?
Hanging out and having fun. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. The thing is about Tina, very talented sister, like many of our sisters. But, the problem that I have is with media and white media and whatnot, that how basically understand those that reach stardom or whatever, they love to tear the male down. Okay, we don't know what the relationship was between her and Ike or whatnot, but yet.
You say Ike ain't never had a chance to tell his version of whether or not he really hit her.
Because like I say, there's two different individuals or whatever. There's a relationship. My parents had these spittles or whatever. I said it, all my life or whatever. I've had a wife or whatever. But you look at that and understand it. They always tear the male down. When it comes to Michael Jackson, they told Joseph Jackson now. They don't know how them boys was when they was coming. He was a father. When you look at understand Serena and Venus or whatnot, they always tear the black male down. And for some reason, we don't really pay too much attention to that or whatever. And it just go on and on and on or whatever. They got to always bring that out. Ray Charles, he was a drug addict. All of this, look at this negativity, always lay on the black male. And are we paying attention to this? I never see them really doing that with their own. But with us, it's always their attack.
They don't do it with their own. And you later on find out that their own was out, sexually molesting kids by the hundreds of thousands and that they do what they can to keep it hid. They're not going to tell that story. Brother, that's why we're here. It's our job. It's our duty to, when I say Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station, as black as this city is, up and down the aisle, AM and FM, you don't have the voices that we have over here. And so there are those folks that get upset, about certain different, they want to have political issues going with people at the station, but understand this. Y'all got one outlet, one place where we will tell you the stuff that happens in the community, and we give you the opportunity to call in. And here's the thing: this morning, Jihad is right. She's right. I've never heard the Ike interview where he said, she came in and slapped me, so I slapped her back. No, we don't know. You ain't. And by the way, since he's dead, you ain't never gonna hear his side of the story. You ain't. The media will, but I'm telling you that he's right. Look, be a strong black woman and build up. They tell that story all the time. And you're going to hear that today 1,000 times. You hear that part of the story is that she came back. She had a black man who abused her. He didn't appreciate her. And she was strong and she overcame it. And she went back. It's true. It might be true. And I'm not doubting that it is true. But Jihad is right. Tell the story about the strong black man and all of the crap that the black man had to go through every single day in order to survive. Tell that story.
Lee, listen, you know, I love my woman, but I don't want my woman gyrating and whatnot and certain things that it might offend me, understand? They might be comfortable with it, but
brother, but you know that she took that shimmy and that shimmy became, she made that shimmy famous. She wasn't turning around twerking. You never saw any of that, but she made shimmying famous on the stage. So and they decided that they wanted to try and take it a little further and a little further. You know, I'm not quite sure that we'd ever be able to contain that sort of energy. That's the thing about her shows, is she always had high energy, even in her 50s and her 60s. She still had energy, and folks knew that that's what they were getting when they went to the show.
Hey, look at that energy today on the stage now, understand? I don't mind understanding in the room with me, understand, in the household. But I don't want to hear the giant blow and whatnot. Cooler than mine. That's just me. I know.
Let me tell y'all, it ain't just Jihad. There are thousands of people out there that feel exactly the way you feel, brother. Thanks for calling this morning. Let me knock out some more of these calls. You have a great weekend. Let's go to Larry. Good morning, Larry. If we lost Larry, go to Jerome. Good morning, Jerome. If we lost Larry and Jerome, go to Walter. Good morning.
Hey, man. Thanks for the invite yesterday. The invite Walter back yesterday. Appreciate you, man. And you sure sound energetic, by the way, too.
It's because I got up and exercised this morning. Look, ain't nothing like watching somebody die and they tell you about high blood pressure and hypertension for you to say, yeah, I'm not sleeping late this morning. I'm getting my butt up and I'm getting the exercises done. So what's on your mind this morning?
You kind of piggyback on what you said yesterday. Is America a racist place, and it which leads me into Ron DeSantis. But anyway, America is a racist place. I retract what I said, and let me explain that. Not all Democrats are racist, but usually all races are Democrats. Most of them, at least. So that's my answer to that. But Ron DeSantis, the National Association for the Advancement of Cot Pickers, that's right, I said it, went after Ron DeSantis, talking about a national ban, black people going to Florida, off of a lie. These are against critical race theory. Check with the Department of Board of Education in Florida. There's no such thing as him banning black history from the schools and books. These people hear stuff and run with it and put out false, evil reports against conservatives. They've been doing that with Donald Trump ever since he came down that escalator or elevator, whatever. And believe it or not, Kerry, it wins elections for the Democrats. Lies, slander.
So when it comes to Ron DeSantis versus Donald Trump, who are you going to support?
Oh, boy, I'm going to shock you again on this one. You know how it is, and you're probably the same way. I go for the last man standing. Even if I have to swallow my pride and everything else, I'll vote for him. If Ron DeSantis is the last man on that stage, after everything, the smoke has cleared, I will vote for him because I believe this. The worst Republican, with the exception of Mitt Romney, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and Susan Collins and those types, but the worst Republican is better than the best Democrat when it comes to saving our country.
All right, we got to go to break. They playing the music. Thanks for calling back this morning. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Jerome, New Tim, y'all hang on. I'll get to y'all when we come back on the other side of the break. It's the last break of the morning. We'll be right back.
Rolling, yeah. Rolling on the river. Say we're rolling, rolling, yeah. Rolling on the river. The river.
My My38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Have you thought about advertising your business on our 910 AM Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now.
Let me say the same thing. Since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever is all I need. Let me be the one you come running to.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Before we go any further, let me just say this. Jalen is the best morning board operator in the entire city. I understand. I gotta tell you, I said yesterday, and I was talking to my mother yesterday, I said, let me tell you, I know that I want to talk about Tina Lamar, and I said, and it would not work out with any of the other morning producers the way that I want it to be done. But luckily, this is Thursday, and I know Jalen's going to be there. That brother's got it, and he has handled it smoothly and perfectly today. Thank you for being there this morning, brother. 313-778-7600. Let's go back to the phones. Let's talk to new Tim. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
I'm all right. What about yourself?
Hanging out and having fun. Glad to be here talking to y'all. What's on your mind today?
Yes, first and foremost, I'd like to send my condolences out to Tina Turner. You know, when I was growing up, that was one of my first crushes. It's something about them legs. It's something about them legs. Something about them long, sexy legs. And for the other brother who called in talking about black male being disrespected, things like that, I
I disrespected himself by putting his hands on her. You know, one don't got to think that it didn't. I mean, it happened. It's a fact that it happened. He disrespected her, and he disrespected.
Did you hear the? Let me tell you, the other day, our Attorney General said when she was discussing, it wasn't the Attorney General, it was Oakland County Prosecutor, said it when she was talking about the most recent domestic violence that had occurred over on 8 Mile. She said when she's talked about the thousands of women who wind up being harmed by men who love them every single year in our country, it just blew my mind. I mean, I knew that it was a problem. I had no idea that domestic violence was as much of a problem as it is until I heard it come out of the mouth of the prosecutor the other day. Do me a favor, Tim. I need to put you on hold because it's 6:51 and we run out of time in 4 minutes. And I want to get Minister Malik Shabazz on so he can tell y'all what he's got cooking this weekend. So hold tight, Tim. Good morning, Minister. How are you?
Grand Rising, Brother Terry. Real quick announcement, if I could. Today, the Michigan State Police and Missing in Michigan is having their annual Missing Persons Day, 1 to 4 p.m. today at Madonna University at the Franciscan Center. Now, that is in Livonia. It's free. And this is for anyone that you got a missing friend, a missing relative or whatnot. Come on out, talk to some people. You may be able to get some help. You may be able to increase the energy on that unsolved case. And as you were talking about domestic abuse and women, we really don't know how many people are missing. And disproportionately, as is everything that's awful, Black, our folks. So I want to put that out there. This is a serious issue. You know, sex trafficking, domestic servitude, organ harvesting, it's real. It's real.
All right, y'all. If you need to Google the address of Madonna University, seriously, is right off of 96. You can take 96 straight down, and there's signs right in the once you pass Middle Belt and Farmington Road. I can't remember what the next exit is. I think the next exit is like Vinoy, and you come up, and Madonna University is right off of right there to say Madonna University. So at Madonna University, the Franciscan Center from 1 to 4 today, MSPs, Missing in Michigan, little workshop where they come out. Listen, they have family members who, you know, never bother. They try to put things together with the databases. They've got a large database of bodies that were at morgues all over the state, and they took DNA from those people. So they need family members to come out, and they'll, you know, set up an opportunity for you to be tested so that they can try and match you together with, okay, thank you, Jay. It's on I-96 and Levan Road. It's I-96 and Levan, Levan Road. And they will try to match your DNA up to find out if your loved them, your missing one, your loved person who you haven't heard from in a while, you know, was this somebody that they found from, you know, in a morgue in Lansing or over in Grand Rapids, and they haven't been able to match them together. So come out from 1 to 4 today for the MSPs Missing in Michigan. All right.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks for calling this morning, brother. You have a great weekend.
Bless now.
All right. You too. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right. Let me see. 6:54. Let me let Tim wrap up. Go ahead, new Tim. No, you can go on and wrap up.
Okay, now if we be honest within our own community, how many times have we seen our grandfather, our great grandfather lay hands on our grandmother or our great grandmother? Now let's be honest. Let's be totally honest with ourselves. You know, domestic violence just didn't start yesterday or the day before yesterday. The domestic violence started way back, but it was not being reported. Now let's be honest with ourselves. No matter how much we may love our grandfather or our great grandfather, at one point in time, wanted to see them lay hands on their great grandmother.
Here's the thing. I understand. And I mean, we've all seen it. There's nobody that's listening to my voice that can say that they hadn't seen it. Thing is, we've got to take it from where we are today forward. We've got to understand now's the time to change that narrative. Those brothers were at that point in time, they were taught and that was normalized. We've got to change that. We've got to get that out of the community. For just the number of stories you've seen in the news in the last 2-3 weeks, you know it's not, it might affect other communities. It definitely affects our community. And it's been normalized and we've got to change it. We've got to start to teach men you shouldn't ever put your hands on them, that you don't own them, and that there are sometimes relationships in. You've got to learn how to say, have a good life. You need me to buy you a cab or call you an Uber? You need me to help you move. I'm going to move to the left. You move to the right. Go on with your life. We've got to start to tell that story over and over and over again so that folks will understand not to put their hands on the women when the relationship's over. All right, I'm out of time. Thanks for calling. Thanks for holding for me, New Tim. Thanks for calling all of y'all. And again, prayers to the family of Tina Turner. There's an hour is never going to be enough to cover the life of a legend, but you will hear enough other stories about her the rest of the day. Listen, y'all, enjoy your holiday weekend. Please, everybody stay safe. I'm going to try and spend time with my family. I want y'all to spend time with y'all family. Everybody stay safe. I look forward to talking to each and every one of y'all next week. Have a good weekend.